Welcome to Azure Services Deep Dive from Data Analytics Actuary. Each episode, we break down one Azure service completely, what it does, what problems it actually solves, and how it connects to everything else. Today, we're diving into the most fundamental storage service in Azure, Azure Blob Storage. Before we zoom in, let's set the context. Microsoft Azure runs on more than 200 services across 60-plus regions worldwide. What makes Azure powerful isn't any single service. It's how everything connects. Compute talks to storage, networking integrates with security, and analytics layers over everything. For data professionals and actuaries, Azure is the operational backbone that turns your models and insights into production-grade systems, ones that scale, stay available, and comply with regulatory requirements. Today's service lives in Azure's storage category, the layer that holds your data at rest. Within storage, you have object storage, file shares, message queues, key value tables, and managed disks. Blob storage is the foundation of this family. It stores anything, documents, images, videos, backups, data lake files, at virtually unlimited scale. If you understand blob storage, the rest of Azure's data layer makes sense. Azure Blob Storage, Microsoft's massively scalable object storage service. A blob is a binary large object, any file you need to store in the cloud. Blob storage organizes data into storage accounts, containers, and blobs. You can store anything from a 1 kilobyte config file to a 190 terabyte block blob, and Azure handles replication, redundancy, and durability automatically. Let's go deeper. Blob storage offers 4 access tiers that let you optimize cost by usage pattern. Hot tier gives you the lowest latency for frequently accessed data. Cool tier costs 40% less for data accessed less than once a month. Cold tier drops cost further for data accessed less than once every 90 days. An archive tier stores data offline at 90% lower cost, but retrieval takes hours. Lifecycle management policies automate tier transitions. Move data from hot to cool after 30 days, to archive after 180 days, and delete after 7 years, all without writing a single line of code. Immutable storage adds worm compliance, which means write once, read many, critical for insurance, finance, and healthcare regulations. Now, the critical problems Azure Blob Storage actually solves, because this is where it gets practical. Problem 1. Data Lake Landing Zone. You have hundreds of daily data feeds from different systems. Blob storage with lifecycle policies gives you a scalable, cheap staging area that automatically tiers aged data to cool or archive. The result: 70% storage cost reduction with zero manual intervention. Problem 2. Regulatory archival. Insurance records must be retained immutably for 7 or more years. Immutable blob storage with legal holds satisfies worm compliance requirements. You get audit-ready storage at archive tier pricing. Problem 3. Static website hosting. Your marketing site needs global delivery without server management. Enable static website on Blob plus Azure CDN for global edge caching. Sub 100 millisecond load times worldwide, 4 pennies per month. Problem 4. ML training data. Terabytes of training images need fast parallel reads for GPU clusters. Hot tier blobs with NFS 3.0 mount give compute nodes native file access. No data movement required. Train directly from Blob. Blob storage connects to nearly everything in Azure. Azure Data Factory orchestrates ETL pipelines that read and write blob data at massive scale. Azure Synapse Analytics lets you query blob data directly with serverless SQL pools. No data movement required. Azure CDN caches and serves blob content from global edge nodes for sub-second delivery. Azure Event Grid triggers workflows automatically when blobs are created, modified, or deleted. Azure AI services can feed documents and images directly from Blob into cognitive APIs for text extraction, image analysis, and language understanding. And Azure Backup provides operational and vaulted backup for your Blob containers with point-in-time restore. Now the honest trade-offs. Individual blob size is capped at 190.7 terabytes for block blobs, but uploads above 256 megabytes require chunking via the Block Blob API. Archive tier retrieval takes hours, not seconds. It's not suitable for any real-time access pattern. There's no built-in query engine. To analyze data in place, you need Synapse, Databricks, or Data Explorer. Standard blob storage uses a flat namespace. If you need real directory semantics, you'll need Data Lake Storage Gen 2 with hierarchical namespace enabled. And egress costs can accumulate quickly for high download workloads that cross region boundaries. To bring it all together, Azure Blob Storage is the most fundamental, most scalable storage service on Azure. It's the right choice for any unstructured data, documents, media, backups, data lake files. The 4-tier pricing model lets you optimize cost automatically, from hot active data down to long-term archive. For data professionals and actuaries, blob storage is usually the first thing you provision. It's where your data lands before anything else happens. The trade-off is simplicity. You get massive scale and low cost, but query and analysis require a separate compute layer. That was Azure Blob Storage. If you found this useful, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. There's a full series covering every major Azure service. Next up is Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2, which takes everything you just learned about Blob and adds a true hierarchical namespace for big data analytics. I'll see you in the next one.